Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Tuesday, the 8th of March, 2016. Hope you had a good trading Monday. We certainly did. It was one of the better Mondays we've seen in a while. I made money in both directions. We'll look at the intraday action here in a bit. In the end, the futures, the broad market closed about even after gapping down, heading into green, and then coming back down, and then making its way back. As you can see here, we're now, this is, if I go to projection mode, 9 bars up for a new startup phase completed here on the ES, so we might be looking for a turning point to the downside here on the futures. But we did close right around that 2,000 key level. That's a TriStar level. After, again, not a lot of action net. Here's a look at the S&P cash index. So we gained 1.77 there for the session. By the way, crude oil back up over $2 at 37.95. Big move up in crude. Gold's down $1.90. Remember, we got recycled on that count there, so there's no 13 sell signal that was setting up on that. The NASDAQ side, however, was much weaker all day, down 25 points on the NDX and change. SOX was up just 2, so basically flat there. Biotech's up 67 points. That's the highest close since, well, all of February and a little bit of January. The VIX was up 49 cents. Still finding support at that red static trend line at 1735 here. Trend and low close of 0.81. It's a pretty low reading anyways for the trend. 10-day moving average still 1.04. NASDAQ volume closed at 1.9 billion shares. That's good for a Monday. Advanced decline ratio positive 1,052 on the NASDAQ, even though the NASDAQ was down for the session. Positive 994 on the New York. That's obviously good as well. Beats the 10-day moving average. Some of the big ones were down for the day. Google down 17 and change. Apple down $1.14. Amazon down $12.34. And Netflix down $6 and change. So some of the bigger stocks that we follow were down, despite the fact that the breadth of the market was solid. Let's go to 5-minute candles for the intraday action here. Here's the broad market. So you can see again Friday's action with the 13 sell signal right at the high of Friday. So we come into Monday here. We gapped down. ES came up and filled that, went flat. Reached up a little bit higher. I'll show you why that happened in a minute. Topped out over lunch, came back down. We were on the lower half of the day's range heading into the last hour or so, and then rallied back up a bit, which was a little bit of a surprise based on where things looked like at that point. Here's the NASDAQ side. That extra push I was talking about in the ES occurred when the NASDAQ side turned up to fill its gap, and that ended up being basically the high of the session on the NASDAQ side. You can see NASDAQ came back in sharply coming out of lunch, actually even before lunch ended, and was at lows for the day. So again, a mixed market here. Ended up closing about mid-range on the NASDAQ side. All right, so what do we have to look forward to on Tuesday? In terms of economic data, there is none. In terms of anything else out of the blue, out of the ordinary, I mean, nothing there. Remember, later on in the week, we do have the futures contract roll. That's a quarterly event that does have an impact on stocks and the markets and futures, and that's probably why we got some action today, because they know they're going to have limited opportunities to move things around once that happens. So we'll take it, but hopefully Tuesday is the same way, and Wednesday before we hit the contract roll. We'll be in the lab as usual helping you out. Charts brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not taken the trial of our services, feel free to do so. Have a great trading Tuesday.